Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm looking at your favourite FM20 players so far. I asked the question, you gave me the answers, and so here they are. Your favourite players of Football Manager 2020. Before we get into the players, a really quick message just to say, if you want to see more videos like this, then please do leave a comment. Let me know what you want to see, but also make sure you drop a subscribe on the channel. Hit that subscribe button, make sure you turn the bell on, and look out for future videos. The first player on the list is going to be a big one. It is none other than Erling Haaland. So good on this game that people will look at you disapprovingly if you go and sign him. He's pretty attainable as well. I managed to sign him at Hertha Berlin. I'm seeing people sign him at pretty much, if you've got an average top division European team, you can probably get Erling Haaland to come to your team at the start of the game for around about 20 million plus some future clauses. I would guess at. He is absolutely insane. I can vouch for this one. Having bought him on my save, he just scores goals. Goals after goals after goals. And yeah, it's not like this is a secret one. He is just that good, as he is now starting to prove in real life as well after his move to Dortmund. And yeah, not one that was going to be much of a surprise on this list, but the first player that is one of your favourites is Erling Haaland. There he is. Next player on our list is this guy here. It's Ryan Brewster from Liverpool, the striker, the young English striker. 19 years old Ryan Brewster. Now, he's one of your favourites, I think, because you can basically get him to go on loan to your team. It does not matter who your team is. If you ask Liverpool to loan this guy, they will send him to you, probably for a pretty small sort of wage as well, which is, you know, really useful. The best thing about it is actually he scores goals. I've seen him score championship goals. I've seen him score goals going to top division European teams in Germany, for example. I have seen him wherever he's gone, and it will pretty much be anywhere. He will score your team the goals that you need to achieve your goals in that first season. So if you're playing a slightly lower league save, advice from me, see if you can go get Ryan Brewster on loan. It seems to work. I've seen plenty of evidence of that, and I think that's why you've made him one of your favourite players of FM20 so far. Another young English talent is another one of your favourite FM20 players then. Karamoko Dembele up at Celtic. I've seen plenty of people using him, getting him into teams earlier on in their saves, developing him, seeing him turn into a pretty decent player. He doesn't have a lot of height. He's only 5'4", but he more than makes up for it with his skill as he turns into a pretty top player. If you can get him in early, you're going to save a fortune, because he's only 16 at the start of the game, and trust me, he's going to be worth a lot more than 2.4 million in a few years' time. One of your favourite players then, Karamoko Dembele. The next player is probably the most requested player, probably your favourite, if I was to go just by the people who answered my question, is SANDRO TONALI. He is at Brescia at the start of this game, and you guys love him. I mean, I love him too. I've used him, and yeah, he does turn out pretty good. At the start of this game here, he does have a release clause. He does also have a relegation release clause. His release clause is 15 million, but if he gets relegated, it is a 7.5 million pounds clause there. Something you don't want to miss out on a pretty likely event that Brescia get relegated. I've seen them get relegated a fair few times now already in this game. So there he is, SANDRO TONALI, the central defensive midfielder, sits in front of your defence, pings passes about, does bits. He's a great player. He's one of your favourite players, TONALI. Yet another young English talent makes the list here. It's Jude Bellingham, who starts off at Birmingham. He already has a pretty hefty value of 4.6 million at the start of the game, and do you know what? He becomes even more expensive. I tried to get him on a couple of saves and they want big money for him, but if you can get him into your midfield, he's going to perform. He's a great player. He's very well rounded. Sits right in the middle of that midfield. Mezzala, central midfielder. One of those roles. He's going to do a job for you. It's Jude Bellingham. Another striker on the list is Sebastiano Esposito, who is at Inter Milan at the beginning of FM20, and at 17 years of age, he is one for the future. However, I have seen people claiming he's better than Haaland, which is a big claim, as you all know how good Erling Haaland is in this game this year. But I've kind of seen it. He does develop into one of the top strikers in the game, and if I was managing Inter, I'd be thinking about getting this guy into the team as soon as possible, trying to give him games and get him developing as quickly as I can. And yeah, I've actually tried him. I brought him to Salzburg on a save and he scored goals straight away, even though he was on loan, and I think he was only 18 at that time. So if you can get him in your teams, get him in, because he is one of your favourite players. It's Sebastiano Esposito. A bit of a FM19 favourite here, and yes, he is still good as we move into FM20, and that's why he's one of your favourite FM20 players. It's Dani Olmo, linked with a few Premier League teams recently, and you can kind of see why. At Dinamo at the start of the game, valued at 15.5 million, it's going to take a fairly big bid to make sure he comes, although his wages are so low that actually it means that business can be done. I'd say about 20 to 30 million, maybe about 20 will get it done for you if you are a big team. He does the business. He will play as a cam. You can get him to play a bit deeper in one of the central mid positions if you wanted to. But yeah, if you are looking for a dynamic midfielder, Dani Olmo is your man. Similarly, if you would like a different midfield option, one from Argentina, Ezequiel Palacios is your man. The guy who has actually just signed for Leverkusen in real life is a really good option on Football Manager as well. If you want a deep-lying playmaker, probably I would say, then go and get this guy. You can get him super cheap at the start of the game. I think there's a release clause in there. Definitely worth doing. Go and get yourself Palacios, because for the money you pay, you're definitely going to be looking at a value that's a lot higher than that. Straight away, what a good way to start off your save. That's probably why he's one of your favourites, Ezequiel Palacios. A defender now by the name of NICOLO Armini, and again, this is one that I can vouch for, having signed him myself. If you go and get yourself NICOLO Armini, you're going to get a defender that develops really quickly into probably going to be your best centre-back. His hair might not look great, but his defending is. NICOLO Armini from Lazio, his value is only 250k. You can get him relatively cheap, probably less than 2 million at the start of the game. He's only 18, and yeah, he develops really quickly and really well. Really strong defender to get yourself off to a good start in your game. That's probably why he's one of your faves, as I've said before. NICOLO Armini then. And finally, it is another Argentinian midfielder then by the name of Thiago Almada that brings up the full list of your favourite FM20 players so far. You can get this guy super cheap at the start of the game from his team Vélez. I think it's a bid of about 4.7 million. Triggers his release clause. Get him in because he turns out to be amazing. If you don't go and get him, somebody else will, one of the big teams straight away. If you look here right at the start of this game, he's already linked with a fair few teams there who are, I think, mostly MLS teams. But yeah, go and get him into your team. I've seen people use him deeper in midfield. I've seen them use him as a cam. I've seen him even being used as a shadow striker and being really effective in that role. I can't really say too much more about him. He's a really, really good FM20 player. Thiago Almada, go and get him. So there you have it. Those are your favourite FM20 players so far, as chosen by you. And I think it's a pretty good list of, if I wanted to know the people that I should be thinking about going to get, those are the players I'd want to know about. So if you disagree, if you agree, whatever, leave some feedback in the comments below. If there's someone that you think should have been on that list, make sure you chuck it down in those comments. Maybe we'll bring you a part 2 of these a little bit later on. Perhaps we'll look for lower league players that you think, actually, if you're playing a lower league save, you should be looking at this guy. Get him into your team and he's going to do the business for you. Anyway, if you want to leave some feedback, I would love you to do so. Other than that though, if you've enjoyed this, please make sure you like the video. Leave a comment, as I said before. Click the subscribe button. Make sure you turn the bell on so you get notified about future videos. And also, if you did enjoy just hanging out today, why not jump into one of my Twitch streams? I stream live on Twitch on a Monday, a Friday, and a Sunday. So yeah, come on in, join us. It'll be nice, I promise. Anyway, yeah, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.